because I moved like an hour away from my normal clients. So I have a long drive. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about like having a van in an apartment versus a house. Because I recently lived in a house and I just moved to an apartment. So for everyone who lives in an apartment and has to deal with these issues, or like wants to get a van but has to deal with these things and doesn't know how, I'll just talk to you guys a little bit about that. So for water, for example, when you live in a house, you just have a hose and you hook up to like the spigot and you fill it up with water, and it's easy. You do it every day or every other day, and easy peasy. Well, I move into an apartment. I have like nowhere to hook up my water at all. I really didn't want to, when you have an apartment, like you don't know. If you hook it up at a storage unit, like you might not have a water hookup at the storage unit. So then you have to find places to hook it up. So, I looked at like RV parks, I looked at truck stops, gas stations. Someone told me once you've been to like an AutoZone or a McDonald's or something. I even like called and asked, and I looked outside and there was nothing. And you see a lot of groomers like asking their customers to fill up with water, which isn't a big deal, but I just really didn't want to do that for no specific reason. I just didn't want to ask my clients if I could do that. And then it just seemed like a really big hassle that I didn't want to deal with. But I didn't have any other choice. So I bring a hose with me and I try to like spread it out as long as possible because I think I have like 50-gallon tanks or something like that. So I try to like spread it out and like figure out how many dogs of like what breed and size like I can kind of do on that tank. And it does tell me, like it'll say like, a quarter full and, empty, or like third to empty or something like that. So it tells me when it's getting close. So I kind of know, and I've kind of gauged it by now. So like I can kind of tell more. I can go like a day and a half depending on how many dogs I have in the winter. Summer is definitely longer because I work shorter days. But I had to end up filling up water at my clients' houses. And, no one really minds it. A lot of people ask me half the time, they're like, oh, do you need to, plug in or fill up with water or anything? So everyone's usually super understanding. They don't really care. I mean, water costs like super cheap. So it's not like a big deal or anything. Um, so yeah, if you're like in an apartment or you don't know where to fill up with water, asking your clients is going to be just the best option. And I try to do it like at the beginning of my day or the end of my day. So like if I do it the very first appointment, I start at like 7. And I'll just like text them. I'll be like, hey, do you mind if I show up like 10 minutes early and fill up my water? Because then it won't mess up my whole day. Whereas if I do it like in the middle of my day, now I'm behind on all these dogs. That's just really inconvenient. So if I show up 10 minutes early, which is like 6:45 or something, which, my first customer is usually awake by then. So that's easy. And then I just get done and then I have water for like the whole day or like some of the following day or the end of my day. So I'll do it like the last dog of the day, because then it doesn't matter if I like run a little behind on that dog, because I don't really have anywhere to go after that unless it's like some personal things that I have to do. So then, yeah, then you have water for like the whole next day, which is really nice. So it's not as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be. It's not as inconvenient as I had expected. I just don't like having to ask customers to like fill up with their water, but it's like really not a big deal. So yeah, I would definitely suggest that because trying to find somewhere, like drive around and find places to hook up is just so inconvenient. It's such a pain, and I don't like, and then I don't want to like have to pay for water like an RV park or something. Because where I moved it, like the water like tripled in price, which is just the oddest thing to me. I did not know water would be so much more expensive in the city. I've never lived in the city. It's really expensive, which isn't a big deal if it wasn't like $200 or $300 a month, which is insane for water. So parking wise, bigger pain in the butt than trying to find water. Way bigger of a pain. So I've had my business for 7 years, almost 7 years in February. And that whole time, like I've lived in houses either with or without an HOA, and so I've never had a problem. I never had to like worry about it. When I had the HOA, I just put magnets on. They didn't care at first, but then later they started yelling at me. So I had to put big magnets on my van. I tried to get a tarp, but my van is like 10.5 feet tall and I'm like 5'5". So it's like, how am I supposed to get a ginormous tarp all over this entire van? Like all the way up there. Like I could get it started, but to get it over the whole thing and take it off every day is like, it's impossible unless I get a ladder, and I'm not going to do that twice a day. So I ended up doing the magnets, which, it is what it is. It's more of just like an annoyance and like an inconvenience than anything. So it's not the end of the world. But when you live like in an apartment or somewhere that you like can't have the van, it's really hard. So I tried to buy 2 condos recently, and I ended up in an apartment. And every single place I looked at, no van. You can't have the van, it's either too big or the logo's on it, or you don't have the parking space, or whatever the case may be. There's just some reason why you can't have the van. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, this is so hard. And I don't want like people living in an apartment to be like discouraged from getting the grooming van or starting their business or anything like that, because there are ways to work around it. So I'm like trying to find all these ways. I'm trying to find storage units and stuff. Storage units for large vehicles, very expensive. I don't want to pay that. I already got to pay like so much for this van. It's like, as you run a business, you obviously have like a lot of bills and overhead and things to pay for. So I'm like, I'm not about to pay like 150, 250, blah, blah, blah for a storage unit per month. So then you try to find other ways, or like, okay, so there's this website. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Neighbor something or other. And basically people rent out like parts of their driveway, or like if they have like an RV gate, or like places where they can put like boats or something. People were even in apartments and renting out their spot. Like if they don't have a car and they're not using their spot or their extra spot, they like were offering to rent it out to me. But obviously that's like the same situation I'm in, so it didn't really make much sense to do that because the logo and the size of the van is super tall and long. Okay, so the height really does make a difference. I can't even bring it into my complex because there's just like walls everywhere and you can't like drive it in there because it's so tall. And then the length, it fits in a parking spot, but it's so long. And most of these vans are going to fit in a parking spot. They're either just going to be too tall or long. So can't park in an apartment or anything. So even these people offering these spots to me, I'm like, it's not going to work there. I'm in the same situation. Otherwise, I would just park it where I am. So the website called Neighbor something or other, people are offering up these parts of their driveway, blah, blah, blah. So I found this woman I posted it in a Facebook group, and I was like, does anybody know where I could park my van? Because I looked on the website, I found a couple places, but I waited too long and they got taken up. So I posted it on Facebook, and this woman's like, I can rent out part of my driveway for you. So I was like, cool, like I'll drive by one day when it's like convenient because I live an hour away, and I'll see if my van will fit. So I drive all the way out there, and I was like, that's really tight. Like, I don't know if that's going to fit. And I brought the van out there, and lo and behold, it fits. Barely, but it does. So I'm like, sweet. So I pay her a certain amount to park my van at her house every month. It's only been 3 weeks. I've only parked my van there for 3 weeks right now because I just moved 3 weeks ago. But, I mean, it's working out really well. So I just park it there and I leave it there all the time. And then I put my car in its place when I pick it up to go to work every day or whatever. She's super nice, and, so it worked out. So yeah, if you can't find somewhere to park your van, you're always going to be able to find something. Like, you're never stuck. There's always like options for anything really. And always people that are like looking to make money or, stuff like that. So it just happened to work out to where it's like what I pay her pays for like a certain bill that she has, and she has to do is give me part of her driveway. Like, and it doesn't inconvenience her because she parks her truck on the other side. So it's like not inconvenient to her, which is really awesome. So I try to be like as quiet as possible, and I leave really early in the morning at like 5:30. So I like try to be really quiet so I don't wake her up, because my van like beeps really loud when I back up. So she told me I was really quiet and stuff. So yeah, you're never stuck. You're always gonna be able to find an option. So yeah, if you like live in an apartment, you're like, I don't know where to park anything. Like I don't know how to work around all these issues. There are that neighborhood, or you can ask groups. And one of the most helpful things to me in my entirety of owning my business in these 7 years is groups on Facebook. Like without these groups on Facebook, I would have been lost in like so many situations. They're so helpful. And I mean, you're always going to have like those people online that are like not very nice, but so many people are so helpful because they've been in like the same situation and they want to help you, or whatever the case may be. Or there's just things that you don't think of. Like you think that you've run through every option, but then you like ask this group online that is going through exactly what you're going through or has been through it. And like they have options that you never even would have thought of. So it's just so helpful. Um, I love these, and they just like really give you really good ideas. So I always like run to that when I like don't know what I'm doing or something. And in 7 years, like I've been grooming almost a decade at this point, and like no matter what, I'm like, oh, I need help. You'd think I know this after a decade of doing this, but it's nice to have like other opinions and stuff. So I think it's super helpful. So I mean, yeah, you might have more bills and stuff, like if you're in an apartment and you're trying to do the van thing, but you just price appropriately. And I know that's really hard to do, especially if you're a startup. Like my prices have over doubled since I started. I started at like $45 a dog, and right now I'm at like 125. And obviously I've gotten like more expensive grooming vans over time. So like I have to continue up with like the bills of the more expensive vans that I've gotten. But you just gotta price and charge your worth and stuff. And you're always gonna have the people that are like, no, I don't like that. Recently, because I moved, I'm trying to do like kind of cats only, which I'm a master cat groomer. I did the certification, the really in-depth certification. I specialize in cats. I'm really good at cats. I really like grooming cats. So as I moved to Scottsdale, I'm trying to specialize not specialize, I'm trying to like do cat only basically. And it's kind of hard for me to get a clientele out there right now because I'm always out in the other area. So I can't have my van like advertising where I am. So, then you have to do stuff online and blah, blah, blah. So I had like two people reach out to me, and I was like, yes, like sweet. I have people finally asking me to groom their cats where I live in my new place, so I don't have to drive an hour. And both of them like didn't like my pricing, which is totally fair. It is kind of a lot, and I understand that. But like you can't let that discourage you, because my prices are based off of my certifications, my experience, the cost of my van, the cost of the products. I use high-end products. Like I have a luxury service and I pay for the luxury products, and that's what you're going to get if I groom your cat. Like you want the best of the best, right? Or like if you do, when I groom, I want to use the best products because I want the best results, and I want my clients to think that it's the best. So I price accordingly to that. So it is hard to not get discouraged when people say like, oh, that's too much. And, no one's ever really mean about it, but you have the people that are like, oh, wow, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's just what it is. And, yeah, just don't get discouraged though, because there's people out there who will pay that price and then tip you amazingly on top of that. So like the people who really appreciate you and really like know what it's all about. And I mean, there's some people that just can't pay that price, and that's fine too. Obviously, that's understandable. Um, you're gonna have such a range of clients, but with all the bills, like extra bills and stuff that I have with the apartment, paying more rent now, dealing with the water situation and paying rent for a parking space and all this, you do have to price appropriately, or driving an hour. My gas is like insane now. I have to fill up like every other day. A lot. It's a lot. So you have to price appropriately, and people aren't going to like it, and people aren't going to care, and people are going to, be like, oh my gosh, you're the best ever. So definitely don't get discouraged. But there's these groups that will help you. Like, I love these groups. Or ask me, write me a comment, or write me a message, or email me, and I will like totally talk to you and help you out, because I love talking business, and I love doing that stuff, especially because so many people have helped me. So like whatever I can do, I will 1000% do anytime, because it's just like I would not be where I am today without these groups. They're amazing people, amazing groomers, amazing people just in the group communities, like the one I'm in for my city, and how people help me there. Like I had a flat tire the other day, and all these people are trying to help, and they're super nice. Um, by the way, the amount of flat tires I have gotten in like a couple years is beyond me. How I keep getting nails in my tires. I swear to God, I have the worst luck with nails in my tires. It's very annoying. But my sharpener patched it for me. Thank God for him. So it is fixed. I am driving perfectly fine. But on that note, I think I'm getting a new van. I'm pretty sure I'm trading this one in for a smaller one, just because I do live in the city now. So having a smaller one is just a little bit easier. Like I'm driving this thing in the city, and I'm like, I feel like I'm driving a bus. Like this thing looks like a ginormous bus, and it sounds like a bus. If you hear it when I like speed up and stuff, it sounds like I'm driving a bus. And I'm like, it just doesn't work. Like it worked, sure, when I lived, in the other city or in the other area. Like that worked really good. But now I live where there's a ton of people, parking's harder, it's just smaller spaces and apartments and condos and blah blah blah. So a smaller van would just be like more beneficial to me right now. Plus it's a little cheaper, which is always nice. But I get to change up my logo, and I really want to do like the more cat specific logo look to it, just because I am trying to be cat only. So I'm gonna try to do that. So it's exciting. Things are happening. I'm definitely gonna be posting videos of it. I'm hoping to have it in a couple weeks if all goes well. You don't want to speak too soon just in case it doesn't happen, but it's looking good. So we'll see. A lot of changes, moving areas. I get a new car, I get a new van, new place to live, new city. So it's a lot of changes, but I like change. Change is fun. Change is exciting. Change is good. So all exciting things, and the perk about the new van too, since it's smaller, it will fit better in the woman's driveway, so I won't have to feel as bad for parking a ginormous bus in her driveway. I do love this van though. I love it to death. If I was still in my current or like my area that I was in, I would totally have kept it because it's an amazing van, and I love it. I've had it for like 4 years. Besides the generator, which hates me for some reason. Generators are awful. And I'm going to have a generator in my new van too, but I hate them so much. But they can replace them with that whole battery thing, but that just scares me because we're in Arizona and it's hot. And then I don't want to have to replace like $10,000 worth of batteries. So I don't know. Pros and cons to both situations, really. Maybe I'll do that one day once it's like tested a little bit more to see if it really works. I'm driving under a tunnel right now. But yeah, I'm also hoping that since it's a smaller van, there's less space like to cool down in the summer, because I work in a sauna and it's so hot and awful. So I'm thinking if it's a smaller space, then it's less to cool down and it will like be cooler and I'll just be super lucky. Will that actually happen? I have no idea. Am I going to hope for it? Heck yeah. We're going to see what happens, because that would be really cool. Another thing about mobile, depending on where you live, you have to deal with the temperature. I can tell you right now, I would never do mobile in a cold climate. I would die. I'm already like naturally cold all the time. And I see these groomers talking about like thawing out their hoses or like their tanks freezing and stuff. Like, I bless them because I could not handle that. Like, I would so much rather be grooming in 120 degrees. And that's miserable too. But, you kind of get used to it. You kind of don't at the same time. But yeah, I don't know how they do that. I don't do well in the cold. I was born and raised in Michigan. I've lived in the snow for half my life, and I'm over it. I will stay in my heat. And I only work until noon. I work 7 to noon in the summers. Not right now. It's 2 o'clock here right now. But I work 7 to noon, so it's really not that bad. Um, you know, it's manageable. You really can't complain about that type of schedule. So it is what it is. You just, clean the van really late at night or early in the morning and you make it work. But being mobile, there's just so many challenges. Like, there's so many times I'm shocked I did not give up. I'm like, I am blown away that I am still doing what I'm doing right now, because the stuff that I have been through broke me so much, but it's so paid off. Like, you see all these posts on these, again, the Facebook pages about all these groomers saying, paid for with dog hair, which I love, because they're basically saying, like, with my job of dog grooming, I was able to do this. So, like, for example, with my grooming, with all the hardships and everything that I went through, I've been able to travel the world. Like, I went to Italy and Paris, and I just went to Dubai, and, so it's like, with all the struggles and everything in the beginning, like, I'm so glad that I stuck through those things, and I still deal with hard things all the time. Like, really, really hard. I just had to put like $10,000 into my generator. I had to just rebuild, and then you have to cancel on people, and then you feel guilty, and then they get upset, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you feel so horrible, and then you can't make money, and it's just like a disaster. So, I mean, if you work for yourself and you're doing this, then obviously have like funds, and I have my friend that I referred dogs to her. Like, she helped pick them up for me that day I could do them. But yeah, like, thank God I stuck with it, because I've been really blessed with an amazing clientele that really cares about me and that I care about. And I've been able to work very hard to do the things that I want to do, which is amazing. And that's exactly what you hope for when you start a business. Except for the fact that my back really hurts right now because of grooming. So I need to stop taking big dogs because my back is aching so bad. And driving home for an hour in this van is not helping my back by any means. I need a massage or some yoga or something, because yeah. If I could just cut down, like, if I could do my summer hours all year long, that would be cool. Because I'm hoping my body wouldn't hurt as much. Just like my wrists, especially during the holidays, because you're like, when you scissor all day every day, your wrist bound to get tired, you're dry, you're constantly going like this. So it's like my wrists just feel so tired and like weak, and like that scares me because I'm 27. I don't want weak wrists at 27 and my back hurting. So that would be the only thing. It's like, eat right, take care of yourself. Eating right is so important because of inflammation and everything. But it's a whole other monster to tackle. So we won't go into that. But yeah, with all the hardships, I just like I guess the one thing I wish I knew is, like, be prepared to go through a lot of hard things. Like, you need to be able to handle it because it's so hard. But like I said, it's like the pros outweigh those cons by a lot. So yeah, like, there are days where it's like you break down, you cry, you freak out, and oh my God, it's a nightmare. But the pros of owning the business and doing the grooming is, like, so beyond those negative things that it's like you can't even be mad at the end of the day. It's like, okay, like, I'm at the point in my business where it's like I'm almost emotionless to them. Like when they happen, like back in the day, I something would happen, like my generator would stop working. I like cry. I'm like, oh my god, I feel bad. Everyone's gonna be mad at me, and why is this happening? And now I'm just like, well, crap. Like that sucks, because I've just been through it so many times now, and like you get used to it, and you're like, well, sorry, like I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'll groom your dog at 9 o'clock at night if I have to once I get it back. Like, what are you supposed to do? So you just learn how to manage those things better, I suppose. Learn how to manage them a little bit better, which is good. Now, since I have the video up, I'm going to see if I can, by memory, get myself to where my van is supposed to be parked. Because I've only been here for 3 weeks, and I think I've got it down. It's also on the way to my apartment. So we're gonna see if I can remember this or if I get lost. But we should be all right. We should be good. There's so many people out here all the time, which I love. The traffic surprisingly does not really bother me because I'm used to being so like isolated up where I lived. So it's like having people around all the time, it's like such a good vibe. There's people, they're happy, they're working, like they're doing their thing, and like you meet them, and it's nice to talk to strangers and say hello and be friendly. Like, I really love that change because I haven't had that. Like, I haven't had that in years of living where I did. And I just love the energy and like being isolated, like working by myself in a van. And then, like being around people, it's like I just want to talk. I just want to talk all the time. I'm just like a super social butterfly now, which is funny. I just feel like I'm one of those people that just start like having random conversations, you know, just start randomly talking so much because I'm isolated in this van all day. But as soon as I see a human, I just want to like talk their ear off about anything. Like right now, I could just go on forever just because I'm talking and I'm by myself all day. And Major is sleeping right here. I don't want to grab the phone because I'm driving right now, but he is just sleeping next to me like a good little boy. Just sits up here while I groom because somebody supposedly has too much anxiety from the move and cannot be trusted by himself. I left him in a kennel for like an hour one day. I like went out to eat with my mom. That's it. And he's raped. Yeah, off, and there was like blood everywhere, and I was so heartbroken because for like 5 years of owning this dog, I've done everything to keep him in like pristine condition. Like, this is my baby. I have done everything I can to keep him perfect, perfectly groomed, perfectly cared for, just looking perfect, being perfect, except training. I suck at training, to be fair, but everything else. And the fact that he like messed up his nose, like, had broken my heart. And I'm like, now he's gonna have this horrible scar, and he's like tainted, and he looks sad, and I'm sad, and now he's, because people look at that, like, when they look at him, they're not gonna go, wow, what a beautiful poodle. They're gonna go, what happened to his nose? So the fact that like that would be like the point of attention broke me, like broke my heart. Thankfully, it actually healed way better than I thought. I think it's pretty much fully healed by now. Thank God. You can see it. But it's just like a dot, almost like a little lighter colored spot at the tip rather than like the whole strip. Thank God, because I was so sad at the thought of like that being the center of attention for when people saw him, because he's so beautiful and he gets so much attention. It's insane. Um, so I just, yeah, it really broke my heart. So I can't leave him alone. So he's in my van with me. If I stop at this light, I will show you because he's so cute, just sleeping like a baby. Um, but he's chilling. He just chills while I groom. Sometimes I let him peek and say hi to the dogs, but you never know with how, other dogs are and stuff in the van. So I don't want to like mix them if I haven't talked to the owner or they don't know that Major's in here or anything. But he's chilling. He's sleeping. But For he likes it better than sitting in a kennel all day, which I would too. I don't blame him. But I do need to go places without him once in a while, so he's gonna have to get used to it. But I think I'm about to stop at this light, so I will show you how adorable that he looks right now. And I need to put his seatbelt in here. Here. Look at that sleepy puppy. Is that not just the cutest thing you've ever seen? Isn't that cute? He's adorable. Oh, you guys have been commenting. That's so nice. Look how cute. Okay, I gotta keep driving. Well, after this light. But he's my little buddy. Just chilling. He's my good boy. But we're going home now after I drop my van off. Like I said, hopefully I can remember where to go. Oh, my phone's dying. 20%. It's okay. I'll be home before then. Oh God. You okay? You okay? What? Don't cough. Don't cough. Okay, green light. You gotta sit back down. Sit. Sit down. Put your butt down. Okay. Onward, Major. Good boy. Ah! Okay. Let's go. Stop coughing. What's wrong with you? Are you okay? Okay. So yeah, I will. So like my little routine now at the end of the day, because I'm parking it at this wonderful woman's house. I just take it like I have to move out my car, so I have to like park to the side, and then I have to move my car out, and then I have to pull my van in, and then move it. It's like a lot of moving vehicles, but it's really like again, it's just like a minor inconvenience, really. So I'll move that. I'll clean it out a little bit. My water's already drained. I filled at a customer's house earlier, so that's good to go. I'll just grab my stuff out of it and take little Meiji boy here home. Probably test out him being by himself again. So we need to work on that, especially because we're going on a trip soon and he needs to be able to be alone. And I need to be able to be alone too, because now that I've spent so much time with him, I'm getting attached and now I'm having problems. And we're just like very connected, okay? And with the move, it's just very different for both of us. So it's a comfort thing, you know, when you don't know your surroundings and everything around you is changing. It's just very comforting to have like that one thing that you know, so you kind of like hold on to that really closely. So like I get it, but it can't be like that forever. So we got to separate a little bit. There is a yoga class at my complex that I would like to go to, although it is an hour long. I don't know if he can handle a full hour yet, but I have a camera, so I could always like watch him, like check in during yoga and see if he's doing okay. I will not put him back in the kennel yet. I will leave him out in the open. And he just stares at the door, which makes me like so incredibly sad. And there's nothing I can do about it but go back home. Um, but he will survive. If he has to spend an hour without me in one day, I think that he will be okay. I have to focus at this light. But no, I love the new area. It's just a lot of change, but like I said, change is like exciting and fun. Like if I'm stagnant for too long, I'll go insane. And I need to switch it up, you know? And switching it up, it just does a lot for you as a person. So I like to keep it going, do different things. I will go crazy, or at least like need to travel or do something, you know. I'll be driving past my complex. Half the time I just want to park in front of my complex to advertise my van, but it's 2:30 and I really don't want to waste a bunch of time today. I really want to go in the hot tub because my back hurts so bad. So I would like to get my car back home so I can do that. Right, Major? Right. Good boy. But yeah, any questions about the van and stuff? I love to talk about business and business ideas. My attention span's only so big while I'm driving. But talk, talk, talk. I can talk all day when I'm by myself. And I just watch movies while I groom. I'm not gonna lie, I watched Frozen today while I was grooming. And then yesterday, what did I watch? Christmas, Griswold's Christmas or something, that like old classic Christmas movie. I love that movie. When the squirrel jumps out of the tree, it just cracks me up. I'm trying to like get in the Christmas spirit, because Arizona just doesn't ever really feel that Christmassy. Um, so I'm just trying to like watch all the Christmas movies, and I want to go do Christmas activities because I want it to feel like Christmas, because I know after that, once Christmas is over, it's gonna feel like it's summer again, and I don't want it to be summer yet. So I really want to soak up this Christmas time and cold weather as much as humanly possible so that it feels like it lasted longer. I love Christmas. It's my favorite holiday. I'm gonna do all the Christmas stuff. Yeah, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving though? I am going to be doing nothing. You wanna know why? Because I can't leave Major alone. So I will be sitting at home eating a bunch of Thanksgiving foods that me and my mom probably order, not make, because why would we do that? But no, they have like, I saw this thing on Facebook and it was like, oh, it was like from like a bar or a restaurant or something, and it was like they're doing like Thanksgiving meals. It's like for two people, a certain amount of money, and they give you like, like the turkey and the stuffing and the cranberry sauce and like a literal like Thanksgiving meal. And we just thought that was super cool. So we're gonna get that and then stay at home with the dogs, watch some movies, and just spend some time at home and chilling, taking advantage of the day to relax and spend time together with the puppies. My cats are doing totally fine though, except what I've noticed, they're super needy now. Like very, very needy. And my cats are on me all the time. Rezzy is just constantly sleeping with me 24/7, which I love. I think it's adorable, especially because cats don't always cuddle like that. So like the fact that she wants to cuddle with me, I'm obsessed with that. I love it so much. Katsu comes up to me every now and then, but she will not cuddle with me. Like at the end of the night, like I can go in my bedroom and like Major's right here, Rezzy's right here, and Katsu's just nowhere to be found. And I'm like, Katsu. But then I sit on the couch and she just knocks my phone out of my hand and wants complete attention. So I don't know. She has her moments, but she is a cat after all. So what do you expect? But I love cuddly cats so much. My mom's cat is getting more cuddly as she gets older. She still kind of hates everybody, and me included, but she's getting more cuddly, which I love. You know what? I just remembered the other way I could have gone. I'm learning. I am learning this area. Cities are hard, okay? Driving's hard. Oh, my back. I don't think I have a massage again until like the next month. Alright, I just got a text I was reading it. Oh, Major, sip coffee and beer house. That sounds good. Starving. I went and got a Christmas themed coffee flight. My mom the other day. I put a video of it on my other channel that we just started, but it was super cute. It had like the Grinch and Cindy Lou Who and stuff. It was adorable. Sadly, they all tasted the exact same. Thought they would maybe be different flavors, but that's okay because it was adorable. It was super cute. So, you can't complain about that. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I am basically about to park my van and my phone's gonna die. So I'm gonna say goodbye. I'll say Major goodbye. Hi, Major. Say bye. You're so cute. Thank you guys for watching. See you later. If I can figure out how to end this. Say bye.